Hey there, amazing friends. I warmly invite you to join me on this exciting journey by subscribing to my channel, liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. Every like, comment, and share brings us closer together and fuels my passion to create more great content. Your support truly makes all the difference. Thank you for being the heart of this community. The black box of the deep state, classified files, and forbidden truths hidden in official records. They say that beyond the visible machinery of governments, behind the podiums and parliaments, exists a clandestine architecture of power, an invisible empire that manipulates global affairs from behind locked doors. It has been called many things: the deep state, the permanent government, the invisible bureaucracy. Yet all these terms converge upon the same basic notion: a system that outlasts elected officials, that transcends party lines, and that orchestrates events from the shadows to preserve an agenda beyond public scrutiny. Rumors of such a system have circulated for as long as modern politics itself, but in hushed circles of conspiracy theorists, the phrase "black box" is whispered with special reverence. This black box, they say, is the nexus where classified files and forbidden truths accumulate, a hidden archive containing evidence of conspiracies so vast they would rearrange our understanding of history if ever revealed. The black box is less an actual container and more a metaphor for the intangible, secret trove of documents, black budgets, covert memos, and unspeakable data that only an elite few can access. Some believe it's maintained by a small council of spy masters, intelligence veterans, and high-ranking officials. Others see it as a distributed entity, a labyrinth of hidden compartments scattered across intelligence agencies and private defense contractors, each storing secrets so potent that entire wars or industries revolve around keeping them locked away. The conspiracy believers hold that the black box is older than we suspect, possibly dating back to the earliest modern states. They speak of classified edges in archives from the 18th century onward, secret treaties, hidden motivations behind declared wars, advanced technologies suppressed to maintain strategic advantage. Over time, these threads wove together, forming a parallel governance structure. If you peek inside the swirling theories, you find references to intelligence documents that reveal covert interventions in foreign countries or hush-hush deals with major corporate entities. Some even point to rumored alien pacts or undisclosed alliances with breakaway scientific enclaves. The black box, in this worldview, is the single place that unifies everything from cryptic technology gleaned from crashed UFOs to the covert infiltration of social movements. The official records we see, redacted or sanitized, are said to be mere glimpses of a deeper tapestry. Hidden within those unseen lines and blacked-out paragraphs, the Watchers claim, lie revelations about who truly orchestrates global finance, cultural trends, or even the relentless churn of war. Just as no single intelligence agency can be wholly mapped by public eyes, the black box is not physically discoverable with a single raid. Instead, it's a concept scattered through digital mainframes, locked safes, encrypted networks known only to certain keymasters. Whistleblowers over the decades have hinted at elements of it: revelations of mass surveillance, leaks about unacknowledged conflicts, or insider accounts about advanced weapons testing. But according to conspiracy dogma, these glimpses remain partial, overshadowed by an entire hidden ocean of knowledge. The Watchers say every time a massive leak hits the headlines, like high-level intelligence cables or hacking troves revealing espionage, society sees but a fraction of the real data. For each leak, the black box remains largely untouched, its darkest secrets preserved behind digital labyrinths or bunkers in the desert. Delving deeper, you encounter stories of a monstrous budget beyond official oversight, used to funnel billions into classified research. Some call it the Deep Slush Fund. This money, they argue, supports clandestine labs that develop exotic technologies, from quiet space platforms armed with directed energy weapons to weather manipulation systems ironically rumored in every corner of conspiracy lore. Mainstream media typically dismiss such claims as paranoid fantasies, yet new discoveries occasionally match the shape of those nightmares, fueling speculation that part of the rumor is indeed real. One especially chilling notion is that the black box includes operational files about shaping domestic narratives. The Watchers suspect that certain cultural phenomena, viral social media campaigns, celebrity controversies, or strategic disinformation are orchestrated from hidden corners of the intelligence world to mold public opinion. A turn of phrase like manufacturing consent takes on literal form. Entire media narratives might be tested in smaller communities, refined, and then unleashed on a global scale. Documents rumored to exist within the black box would detail how to manipulate public sentiment using psychological levers, from stoking fear about external threats to fueling partisan divides. The Watchers highlight random declassified memos from the Cold War that described psychological operations aimed at entire populations, believing that modern technology only streamlined these efforts. The black box, if it indeed houses evidence, might prove how illusions can be systematically cultivated to maintain certain elites in power, overshadowing the will of democratic institutions. Another key aspect of black box lore is that it ties together major corporate entities with deep state operations. Mega corporations in technology, finance, or healthcare might be tied by silent partnerships or intelligence grooming. Some conspiracy sites claim that groundbreaking patents, particularly in energy or propulsion, are quietly seized under national security claims, then placed in indefinite limbo within the black box. The motive, they say, is to preserve existing power structures that rely on fossil fuels or mainstream manufacturing. If free energy or advanced zero-point experiments worked, it would upend global markets. So these breakthroughs remain hidden, labeled as too disruptive. At face value, that might explain why radical new energy solutions never see the light of day or vanish behind corporate buyouts. Could the black box hold the plans for a device that ends the global energy crisis? Or cures once unstoppable diseases? The Watchers assert that the black box's impetus is not only to preserve strategic advantage over rival nations, but also to secure the massive profits and geopolitical leverage inherent in controlling advanced technology. Alongside these pragmatic conspiracies are the more outlandish secret alliances with alien civilizations, or undisclosed knowledge of ancient civilizations that defy historical orthodoxy. Some claim that locked in a vault within the black box archives are documents describing an extraterrestrial presence that has shaped policy for decades, with global leaders forming an uneasy pact to keep the population ignorant to avoid widespread panic or social upheaval. Others speak of covert expeditions, discovering ruins in the polar ice or deep jungle that rewrite the timeline of human origins, artifacts so contradictory to mainstream science that governments found it prudent to hide them. The Watchers might be quick to point out the uniform hush from archaeologists who, possibly threatened or bribed, keep silent about anomalies. With each new rumor of a giant skeleton discovered or an underwater structure, the black box is invoked as the place all that data goes, never to be officially recognized. Is it possible that the black box is not a monolithic conspiracy, but a concept we use to fill the gap in our knowledge of government complexities? Perhaps. Bureaucracies create an enormous mass of classified data. Intelligence agencies thrive on secrecy. The existence of black budgets is a known fact. Billions poured into undisclosed operations, from stealth drones to infiltration networks. The Watchers, however, see all that and conclude an overarching directorial force guides it. They imagine a single or small council of kingmakers operating from hidden offices, gleaning daily intelligence briefs that surpass anything the nominal heads of state might see. This council might be composed of lifetime intelligence officers, banking magnates, or even those rumored 13 ancient families that appear so frequently in conspiracy lore. The Watchers link them to secret societies that date back centuries, merging old money and aristocratic lineages with modern intelligence apparatus. The black box, in their narrative, is the storehouse of secrets that keep these elites unchallenged. Political leaders come and go, but the black box remains, ensuring continuity of the real agenda. But if the Watchers are correct, how do we see glimpses of the black box from time to time? They point to patterns, a bizarre anomaly in a defense budget document, or a mysterious footnote in an official timeline that references something quickly retracted. They highlight whistleblowers who speak vaguely about Stargate-type experiments, remote viewing programs, or human-animal hybrid trials, only to vanish under suspicious circumstances. Each time, the Watchers say the black box exerts its power. Investigations fade, journalists pivot to new stories, and official statements drown in redactions. In the aftermath, official records remain silent, but the Watchers remain unsatisfied, collecting bits of conflicting testimonies. Over decades, that approach wove a shadow tapestry, albeit incomplete, that fuels the black box myth. A classic story that fuels black box theories is the alleged suppression of advanced neurological manipulation technology. Some claim that as early as the 1970s, intelligence agencies discovered methods to subliminally implant thoughts using electromagnetic waves, calling it psychic driving. They say it was tested on unsuspecting subjects, documented, and eventually locked away as too potent a weapon for public knowledge. The Watchers suggest that might be used selectively on targeted individuals, creating unwitting stooges or lone wolves to shape events. The official record remains scarce, but a few declassified experiments hint at smaller-scale mind control attempts in the Mkultra era. The Watchers extrapolate that the deeper breakthroughs lie hidden. The black box would logically hold the full blueprint, the Watchers assert, ensuring no legal oversight can hamper its use. To many, that is madness. To a conspiratorial mind, it's the only explanation for certain improbable events in modern times, from lone assassins claiming voices in their heads to orchestrated cult tragedies. One might wonder why large swaths of global populations don't revolt if these horrors are hidden in plain sight. The Watchers blame a mix of psychological complacency, strategic misinformation, and the sheer complexity of daily life. People simply have minimal bandwidth to unravel labyrinthine conspiracies. The Watchers see it as part of the design: keep the average citizen busy, financially stressed, entertained by mass media, so they never unify enough to pry open the black box. Meanwhile, whistleblowers are marginalized, accused of mental instability, or overshadowed by orchestrated controversies that capture the headlines. Any real leak, if it can't be fully suppressed, is quickly drowned in a flood of trivial or sensational news. Over time, the Watchers claim the memory of that leak dissolves, replaced by a new cycle of scandal or sensation. The black box thus remains sealed, protected by a cunning interplay of carrot and stick at the highest levels. Yet, the Watchers do see glimmers of potential. As digital technology evolves, hacking becomes more sophisticated, and the chance for a catastrophic data breach from inside the black box might loom. Many conspiracists fantasize about an unstoppable hack that uncovers thousands of gigabytes of hidden files, unraveling once and for all the illusions propping up global power. They imagine a scenario akin to the biggest data dump in history, verifying everything from suppressed anti-cancer breakthroughs to unstoppable espionage. But the Watchers also caution that the black box is likely well shielded, possibly existing offline or in quantum encrypted networks. Indeed, the Watchers paint an image of clandestine bunkers guarded by biometric checks and possibly advanced AI that can detect infiltration attempts. In their worldview, every high-level infiltration is met with rapid containment, with entire investigative teams quietly dealt with. They highlight occasional strange suicides or accidents that befall hackers who got too close. Whether these stories have merit or feed the self-sustaining cycle of conspiracies is up for debate. Meanwhile, official denial remains consistent. Governments of major powers either ignore such claims or label them as baseless illusions. The Watchers retort that official denials mean nothing in an age where disinformation is part of the deep state's modus operandi. So the standoff continues, with mainstream society acknowledging that yes, large volumes of classified data exist, but dismissing the Watchers' portrayal of a singular, unstoppable black box that holds all the darkest truths. The Watchers remain entrenched in their conviction that these are not random piles of old intelligence, but a curated repository that ensures continuity of hidden control. In the end, the black box stands as a potent symbol, bridging legitimate concerns about secrecy and intelligence, the existence of black budgets, corporate collusion, psychological warfare, and cosmic possibilities such as alien contact or ancient anomalies. For the Watchers, it's the crux of the entire puzzle, the box that, if opened, would unleash revelations so seismic they'd tear down illusions sustaining modern civilization. Politicians toppled, industries undone, religious institutions confronted by evidence of parallel histories, and the public forced to reevaluate the bedrock of their reality. The Watchers relish such an apocalypse of truth, but they also admit it might spawn chaos or a power vacuum, a meltdown in the social contract. Some Watchers see that meltdown as necessary, while others fear it might pave the way for draconian measures. The deep state might already have plans for if the black box is compromised, possibly an orchestrated global event that resets everything. And so it remains a fundamental paradox. The black box, if real, dwarfs any single whistleblower's capacity to expose it, protected by networks of loyal agents. It remains a black hole for knowledge, swallowing inconvenient truths, forging illusions for public consumption, shaping world events with carefully orchestrated puppet strings. Over time, those illusions become the accepted narrative, and each new generation is born into a reality they seldom question. The Watchers, with their websites and private gatherings, keep faith that one day the mask will slip, unveiling a monstrous library of data that proves them correct. Others see them as misguided or delusional, peddling fantasies for dopamine hits in an uncertain world. The conversation never quite stops. For the average person, the black box might remain an abstract notion, overshadowed by daily concerns, bills, families, fleeting amusements. But in quiet corners, late at night, one might wonder, if these Watchers are even partially right, how much of my reality stage managed from behind locked doors? The thought is both exhilarating and terrifying. Perhaps that is the ultimate power of the black box lore. It resonates with the sense that secrets do shape our world, that official records rarely tell the entire story, and that behind the scenes, a hidden force might be pulling strings. If that force is a complex interplay of bureaucracy and hidden alliances, or indeed a singular puppet master, the Watchers do not always agree. But they concur on one principle. The greatest illusions have always thrived in darkness, and the greatest truths can break entire empires if brought to light. The black box stands as the metaphor of that unstoppable tension. In sum, the black box of the deep state, classified files and forbidden truths hidden in official records, is less a single entity than a tapestry of conspiratorial beliefs that merges real phenomenon like black budgets, intelligent skullduggery, corporate complicity, historical revisionism into a unifying myth. Skeptics see it purely as a myth, ignoring or missing the kernel of truth, that high-level secrecy does shape policy, and that advanced technology or hidden archives can remain beyond public scrutiny for decades. Believers see it as the apex of hidden power, directing wars, illusions, and the destiny of billions from behind a cloak of plausible deniability. The unstoppable question stands: will the black box remain locked forever? Or will we witness some cataclysmic breach that unleashes its secrets upon the world? The watchers watch, the mainstream hums along, and the record remains sealed for now.